Mammoth hunting. Once I mention mammoth, people will think of two things: that it's huge, which is true, and that it was hunted by humans in the Stone Age, which again is true. But not many ponder that not all mammoth hunts ended with the mammoths being killed. On the contrary, many times mammoths managed to kill their attackers, and many humans perished as a result. Today, I'll tell you about a fortunate case, and at the same time the most amusing mammoth hunt in the history of the world. Let the adventure begin. In the Stone Age, mammoth hunting was a challenging and perilous activity, but for many hunter-gatherer communities of that era, it represented a crucial source of food, fur, and other resources. Using rudimentary stone tools such as spears and arrows, ancient people hunted mammoths in groups, often employing elaborate techniques and strategies to catch and kill them. One day, the tribe known at that time as the Mighty Bear Tribe gathered to discuss various important issues in the tribe's life. Among them, the news that a previously unknown mammoth had appeared nearby where they lived. A large specimen with dark brown fur. It was seen by someone from the tribe who spread the news to others. Given the risks and difficulties involved in hunting such a large and powerful animal like the mammoth, it required a collective effort from many men. First, they decided who would participate in the hunt. Small children, the elderly, or the sick, and women were not allowed to go. Everyone else wanted to go. Even though it was dangerous, it was also a great prestige, especially for the younger boys, if they were finally considered old and capable enough to participate in a real mammoth hunt. The bigger or more dangerous the animal, the harder to bring down, the greater honor the hunters gained, and of course more food for the tribe. They hunted mammoths for their meat, for fur, but most of all they enjoyed the tusks, as they made the best tools out of them, and for the girls they made jewelry. After this meeting where they discussed everything about the upcoming hunt, everyone went home, but in families almost everyone continued the discussions about mammoths. They were so enthusiastic. Zara is a lovely girl, who has 6 older brothers. After 6 boys, a little girl was born. She was breathtakingly beautiful, but as she grew up among boys, she behaved like them, had activities like the boys, did everything like them and together with them, but she was not allowed to go hunting and was saddened because of it.
Boys, we're ready to hunt down that mammoth. Let's show everyone who the real hunters are in this family.
Yeah, we're the best. We've grown up in these wild woods and learned all the secrets of hunting. Nothing can stop us.
Exactly. The mammoth doesn't stand a chance against us. We'll show everyone how strong and brave we are.
And when we bring it down, let's not forget to share the tusk. The girls will be thrilled to receive jewelry made by our skilled hands.
Yes, and they'll surely be grateful for our gifts. Who wouldn't love jewelry made from tusks? We'll be honored throughout the village for what we've accomplished. We'll be elevated in everyone's eyes and proudly display our triumph.
This is how all the men talked at home, boasting in front of their women, and some already imagined all sorts of stories, each more fantastic than the last, where they appeared as heroes, thinking that since the girls wouldn't be there, and they would return with the prey, whatever story they told, the girls would believe. And they smiled as if they had already experienced those sweet moments. Meanwhile, Zara pondered how to seize a moment when she wouldn't be seen by her parents, and secretly follow the boys to see what happens. She was curious, brave, but also quite mischievous. The big day arrived. The boys and men set off for the hunt, and Zara, according to her plan, found a moment when her parents were not paying attention to her, and she ran after the hunters. No one saw her, but she followed them everywhere. At home, the women awaited the outcome of the hunt with great trepidation. They feared for the lives of the men, as many had perished in such hunts before, but they also eagerly anticipated the promised jewelry and all the treasures that followed a successful hunt. At first, everything proceeded as usual. The boys found the mammoth, attacked it systematically as they had planned, wounded it with many spears, and attempted to drive it towards a place where it could not escape and would be vulnerable. The forest echoed with the thunderous beat of drums as the hunters closed in on their prey. The shadows danced atop the trees, courtesy of the flickering torchlight, casting eerie lights on the tense faces of the men. The mammoth, massive and imposing, trumpeted in defiance as the spears rained down upon its thick hide. With each strike, the hunters' cries mingled with the beast's roars, creating a cacophony of sound that reverberated through the night. Adrenaline coursed through the veins of the hunters as they lunged forward, their muscles straining with exertion. They moved with calculated precision, each maneuver bringing them closer to victory. With every step, hope surged within them, fueling their determination to bring down the mighty creature before them. But the mammoth, undeterred by the onslaught, fought back with ferocious strength. Its tusks slashed through the air, sending shards of wood flying in all directions. The ground shook beneath its massive bulk as it charged forward, trampling everything in its path. Amidst the chaos, a sense of exhilaration swept over the hunters. They shouted with fervor, their voices rising above the din of battle. Victory seemed within their grasp, the culmination of weeks of preparation and anticipation. The animal, exhausted from so many arrows and blows, seemed to be nearing the end of its life, yet no one had the courage to approach close enough to deliver the fatal blow. Everyone wanted to be the one to kill it, but no one dared to get close. In the meantime, daylight had come. As the sun peeked over the horizon, the marshland seemed to come alive with the frantic energy of the trapped mammoth. With a sudden surge of strength, the mammoth hoisted its massive legs high into the air, defying gravity for a brief moment before crashing back down into the murky waters of the swamp. In that instant, a torrent of mud erupted from the depths, showering the hunters from head to toe in a thick, slimy coating. The hunters, caught completely off guard, stared wide-eyed in disbelief, their mouths agape as they struggled to comprehend the absurdity of the situation. But before they could even begin to process what had just happened, chaos ensued. With a collective shriek of terror, the hunters scattered in all directions, their panicked cries echoing through the forest as they fled for their lives. In stark contrast to the hunters' horror, Zara's clear voice suddenly rang out with laughter. Perched high in a tall tree, she had witnessed the entire scene unfold. Descending from the tree, she raced home, still laughing heartily. She arrived ahead of the hunters, but soon they trickled in one by one, each of them, exhausted and with shattered dreams, embarrassed by their own failure. At home, Zara had already recounted the entire tale to the women, and those who remained behind. She told them how the men had been instantly covered in mud, and how terrified they had fled home, and how the mammoth had emerged from the swamp and gone on its way. Conclusions can be drawn from this story, and I'm curious to hear what lessons you take away from what happened. You can leave your responses in the comments section. The characters and the story were fictional. Historical truths are as follows. In the Stone Age, humans hunted mammoths for their meat, fur, and tusks. Their excessive hunting may have contributed to the extinction of this species, along with other factors such as natural climate changes and competition with other species.